Hey everyone, welcome. It's Naomi, and today I want to share with you something a little bit different. So, yesterday I got back from being on a weekend long trip. In fact, I was gone for 4 days, all by myself, for the first time since before my kids were born. And as liberating and as exciting and as wonderful as it was to have 4 days sort of to myself, there was one thing that kept coming up for me on this trip that I wanted to share. And what kept coming up was I had to board 4 different planes over the course of my travel, so flying across the country and flying back, and I didn't put any of my bags under the plane, right? So I had 2 carry-ons, and one of them was this beauty right over there, and it was packed pretty full with enough clothes and toiletries and everything else that I was going to need for the 4 days that I was gone. And every time that I went to put my bag up on the plane in the overhead bin, somebody would say to me, usually a man, in fact, every single time it was a man, would say, "Do you need help with that?" Now, that's an incredibly considerate thing to offer, but I don't need help with that. I am strong enough to put my bag in the overhead bin. The question is, are you? Do you struggle with that? Now, the reason that I ask that is that if somebody's asking me that question, and I'm fairly young, I'm 37, and I'm fairly fit, if somebody's asking me that question, maybe purely out of consideration, but because they assume that I might need help with it, then do you get asked that question? Now, each and every time I did that, somebody also always commented, "Wow, you're really strong. Whoa, that's impressive." Like it was this big deal that I was putting my own luggage in the overhead bin. So today I want to give you 2 exercises that you can do to help prepare your body to put things with more ease in the overhead bin, which means that you can bring a carry-on on the plane should you so desire. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do, and actually it's 3 things. The first thing that I want you to do is to fill up a suitcase full of some stuff. Now it doesn't have to be super full, and yes, this suitcase is in fact full. I will show you. It hasn't even been unpacked. So just so that you know that I'm not cheating, this is still full of all of the stuff that I had with me on vacation because it takes me a while to unpack. So all I want you to do is once you've packed up your suitcase, so if you need to pause the video and go unpack a suitcase that could fit in the overhead bin, what I want you to do is grab it, one hand on the top handle, one hand on the side handle. If your bag has that, lift it up, right? So my knees are bending, lift it up and stretch up and overhead. Okay? And then you can flip it and do it on the other side, right? So knees bend, you hold onto those handles, you pick it up and put, okay? So really interestingly, this is kind of similar to an exercise that you might do frequently, like in fitness classes, not necessarily yoga, but definitely in fitness, where you bend down into a squat and then pivot, right? So you turn towards your right knee and stretch up. Okay, and then you would bend down, turn and pivot to the left and stretch up. Okay, now you can certainly do that practice. That is a really good thing to practice. Bending your knees into a squat, reaching down, pivoting into a lunge and stretching up. Okay, and then we'll do it one more time just to be even on the 2 sides. Pivot to the left and stretch up. Now you're not necessarily getting down that low, but you do have to be able to squat a little bit in order to bear the weight. But what I'm more interested in is that overhead reach. Okay, so the overhead reach I think is sort of one of the more challenging parts, right? It's like hoisting something up over your head. Okay, so in yoga we don't always work with weights. You are certainly welcome to do that on your own, but all I want to focus on is the overhead reach piece. Okay, so take your arms straight up overhead, palms facing forward. Claw the air like a baby tiger. So I call this like baby tiger pose. So you can growl like a baby tiger too if you want. So that'd be like, roar. It's like a little roar instead of like a roar. Okay, so anyway, I like animal sounds. I have 2 kids. And let's be real, even before I had kids, I liked animal sounds. So, okay, I digress. Arms up overhead, claw the air like a baby tiger, growl like a baby tiger if you want, and then drag your fingers down through the air, bend your elbows until your elbows come about to shoulder height. You should feel your shoulder blades moving in towards your spine and then re-extend. Okay, and then repeat it. Bend your elbows, pull down, engage, re-extend. Okay, now I'm going to turn around so you can see my back doing this. Bend your elbows to help engage your upper back. Okay, your elbows should go about to shoulder height and re-extend. Okay, bend down, re-extend. Bend down, engage your upper back, re-extend. Okay, now shake it out for a sec. Now you can also, because what I discovered is that my arms, when I'm putting it up into the overhead bin, I was watching, is that one arm pushes and stretches and the other one stays bent as it pushes, right? So both arms don't stretch completely when I'm pushing it up in the overhead bin. And I noticed other people doing that too, which is why you can also do this. You're gonna bend your elbows again, and then stretch your left arm up, keep your right arm as it is. Pull your left elbow down, and then stretch your right arm up. Okay, bend your right elbow down, stretch your left arm up. Bend your left elbow down, stretch your right arm up. 2 more times. Bend your right elbow down, stretch your left arm up. Bend your left elbow down, stretch your right arm up. And now both one more time. Bend your elbows and stretch up. And then shake it out and let it go. Okay, so again, I know you're not really doing any actual strength training in that because you're not bearing weight. But what you can do after you've done this particular video once or twice, you could actually add weights, right? Or you could add water bottles full of water if you want to start a little smaller. And eventually you could work back up to bending your knees, grabbing your big piece of luggage, lifting it up, and stretching. Okay? Okay, so the last thing that I wanted you to do, or the second thing that I want you to do, is to lie on your belly. And this is my absolute favorite shoulder stretch right now for bringing more awareness to your upper back. So stretch your arms all the way out in front of you. Okay, you don't have to put your head on the ground to stretch your arms all the way out. Now drag your hands back. Okay, so your elbows will bend, your forearms will come to the floor. Okay, before they weren't, now they are. And then drag your hands back a little further until your hands are closer to like your chest. Okay, pull them back a little more and lift your hands up. And then put your hands back down and stretch them all the way out. Okay, and you've got to really work your legs here so that your legs are keeping you accountable to your back. Okay, you could even, if you've got that rollerboard near you like I do, sort of, you can squeeze it with your legs, which I'm going to do, you know, just for bonus action. So drag your hands back. Your mat might bunch up a little bit, that's okay. Drag them back a little more. Pull your hands up. Put your hands back down. Stretch them all the way out. Okay, repeat that. Slide your hands back. Pull them as far back as they'll go, like you're coming into a cobra. Lift your hands up. Put them down. Stretch them back out. Keep working those legs. Okay, we're going to repeat it. We're just going to change it slightly. Pull back. Keep pulling back. Okay, keep your left hand down, just lift your right hand up. Stretch your arms straight back behind you. Bend your elbow again, like your palm is going to go down. Stretch your arms straight out in front of you. Bend your elbow back in, put it down. Lift up into cobra to give yourself a little break. Lower down again. Lift your left hand up, stretch it back. Bend your elbow in, stretch it forward. Squeeze your legs, bend your elbow back in, put your hand down, cobra pose. Lower back down, stretch your arms all the way out, and rest. Okay, now you can repeat that a few times as well. It's a lot of work for your upper body, but it is building some good strength as well as mobility, that overhead mobility that you want. Now you can also do that with both arms, and we will do that once just so you can feel it. Okay, if your back is starting to bother you, if you're starting to feel it in your back, okay, then keep your hands on the ground and just work cobra pose. See if you can lift one hand up and then the other, right? But don't hold it for too long. Just really work your upper body, okay? So last one, arms out in front of you. Drag your hands back so you're just starting to feel that engagement in your shoulders. Keep dragging them back. Even if your mat bunches, keep dragging them back. Lift your hands up, engage your legs. Stretch your arms back. Bend your elbows in so your hands hover again. Reach your arms forward, squeeze your legs. Bring your hands back in, hands on the floor, cobra pose. And then lower back down, stretch your arms all the way back out. Oh, and let it go. Okay, so if you want to start getting a little bit stronger so that you can lift something like your own luggage into the overhead bin without, people questioning your strength, or with people saying like, hey, you're kind of a badass for being able to put your luggage in the overhead bin. If you want to do that, definitely do these 2 exercises, at least once a day, maybe starting to add weights for that first one, or water bottles, or just sort of work the resistance of it, right? But do it every day for a couple of days and see how your upper body feels. Okay, now if you want a little bit more action for your upper body, if you want to feel even stronger in your shoulders, even more mobile so that it feels not only possible to put your suitcase in the overhead bin, but that you could do all kinds of other really important things with your upper body and not feel like you're in danger of getting injured, you should definitely check out my Yoga for Healthy Shoulders series. It is a 5-week series with 8 videos that go in depth just like this, giving you something to do every single day for an entire week, once a week for 5 weeks. And that will not only help you build up your shoulder mobility, but also your shoulder strength, so that you will feel so much stronger, so much healthier, and so much more shoulder capable. So if you are interested in that, there's a link in the comments or in the description below, rather, and you can click on that and you can get that today and start making your shoulders even stronger today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. As always, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel, which you can also do in the bottom right-hand corner. Make it super easy, and then you can get immediate access to all the videos that you know and love. But as always, thank you for spending a little time in your yoga mat with me. I hope that this helps you in the coming holiday season where you might be getting in and out of airplanes a lot. So I hope this makes the holiday season a little bit smoother for you and for your family. So have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you on the mat again really soon. Bye.